Hey guys, so in today's video, I will be giving you a little bit of an update about my Divacup experience. I posted two videos. It must have been November because I remember I got my second period using the Divacup when I bought my silk pajamas from Victoria's Secret, and that was during Christmas time. I first started using the Divacup in November, and the reason why I started using the Divacup or made a video about it was just because I personally was very curious about using it. I was the type of person that was really scared of using tampons for the longest time. I was pretty much using tampons exclusively just because, I don't know, there's just something about pads that I don't like. I don't like the idea of sitting in my blood, even though it's my blood and it's natural. There's just something about it that I just don't feel clean if I do that. So once I tried a tampon and I realized, I actually liked the tampon better, I was pretty much using tampons exclusively. But I remember being young and seeing my mom or my cousin, and they would be using tampons, and I would be so scared because I'm like, the idea of inserting a foreign object into my body was just so weird to me. And I always said when I was younger, I'm never using tampons, and funny how things have changed. I was scared of using tampons until I actually tried inserting them. And once you learn how to insert, a Divacup or tampons properly, it's really not that uncomfortable or weird. It just becomes kind of second nature. But once I started getting used to tampons and researching a little bit more, the object that I was really curious about was the Divacup, and I have a new Divacup here. For a lot of people, the idea of using a menstrual cup is really bizarre and kind of scary to them, and I understand because before I tried one and had my life changed, I was exactly the same way. I thought it would hurt, I thought it'd be unhygienic, I thought it would be kind of just a hassle. Turns out none of those things are true. I have two other videos. My first video was documenting my first impression and first experience using the Divacup, inserting it, all sorts of stuff like that. And then my second video was answering FAQs about sleeping in it, changing it in public, everything like that. So I will link those two videos down below. But in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about an update, if I'm still loving it, some things I've learned. One of the biggest concerns I get in my comments is about watching it and people thinking that it's unhygienic. So I just want to kind of go over that again and just reinstate the fact that Divacups are made of medical grade silicone. And silicone is used, for example, my boobs are silicone. And silicone is used because it's antibacterial and it's hard to harbor bacteria. Of course, if you don't take proper care of your things or don't properly wash your Divacup or anything really, it can get a little funky. And once again, I just want to reinstate the fact that if you are going to use tampons, please use organic tampons. The cotton that they use in mass-produced, tampons can be very detrimental and dangerous to a woman's reproductive health. So if you are going to be using tampons and you don't want to convert to a menstrual cup or Divacup just yet, please, for the love of God, use organic tampons, because I'll tell you, I got a random period one time. I already had my period for the month, and then I was at Mike's house and I randomly got another period, which is very bizarre for me. That's never happened before, and I didn't have my Divacup with me. So obviously I was not expecting my period, and I had to ask his sister for a tampon, and I swear the whole time I had the tampon in me, I was like, oh my gosh, the type of, cotton that they use in this and the wood pulp and everything. I was just so freaked out that I ended up using a pad. Definitely do your research when it comes to tampons because they are pretty dangerous. Once I read the articles about tampons, I was like, how are mothers not telling their daughters to use menstrual cups or Divacups? How are they choosing to tell their young daughters to insert those things into their bodies when they're pretty dangerous? I also got a comment that I just wanted to talk about, and they're like, I would never want my young daughter, when she gets her period, to use a menstrual cup. I just want to say that with a Divacup, this is not a sexual object. You're not inserting something sexual into your body. I understand not wanting to overexpose your young daughters to certain things, but when it comes to taking care of yourself and your hygiene, especially during your period, I don't think there's anything wrong with teaching them safer and better and healthier options. In my opinion, I don't think there's any difference between a tampon and a menstrual cup or a Divacup. Both objects are inserted into the vagina to catch the blood that our bodies are getting rid of, and so I just don't feel the need to make this into a sexual thing. And personally, I feel that in a couple of years, and especially by the time I have children, which it's not that far away, but by the time I have children, I feel like tampons will just become obsolete because people, if you know better, you'll do better. And so that's why I'm such a strong supporter of the Divacup. You can ask anyone I know pretty much if periods come up in the conversation, I'm like, have you tried the Divacup? You need to try the Divacup. And all of their reactions are like, no, I've always been curious about it, but I never wanted to try it. I'm like, well, you need to watch my video because Divacups are the way of the future, and I truly believe that. I did a little bit of basic math. So the average box of tampons that I used was about $10, and I calculated it. If I was changing it every 6 hours, I would use about a box of tampons per period. A lot of people think that the Divacup is really expensive, and when you see the $40, it depends on where you buy, but when you see, I saw it at the pharmacy for $40 at my pharmacy. When you see the $40 price tag, you're like, whoa, that is a lot of money. But if you just do some simple calculations, which you have to do simple calculations with me because I'm not a mathematician, if I use a box of tampons, and there is a tax, I believe, on menstrual products still, which is stupid, but let's say they're $10, and I use a box of tampons per period, in a year, I'll be spending $120. The Diva Cup can last minimum a year. In many cases, it lasts over a year as long as you take care of your Diva Cup, wash it, sanitize it, everything like that. In terms of also keeping it clean, Diva Cup does have a Diva Wash, which you can find alongside Diva Cups at most, supermarkets or pharmacies. So this is the Diva Wash, and it is botanically enriched cleanser for face, body, and the Diva Cup. It's pH balanced, and it says it's ideal for sensitive skin, 100% plant-based, no animal testing or animal ingredients. So it's great for my vegan followers. So not only is this perfect to wash your Diva Cup with, which I would typically do every night. This is a concentrated formula, so you won't need to use as much. And what's actually really cool about this, I follow Diva Cup on Twitter. You can actually wash your brushes with this wash. So if it's sensitive enough for your, hoo-ha and other regions, it's definitely sensitive enough for your precious makeup brushes. And this is what I've been using to wash my brushes. The scent is really nice and light and almost citrusy, I find. But it's really not overpowering. So you can use this on your face, you can use this on your body, you can use this on your Diva Cup, you can use it on your brushes. It's just a really great purchase. So when it comes time to wash my Diva Cup, like I said, I would just, personally it doesn't bother me, I just wash my hands after. If you pull it out, you can use like a Kleenex and pull it out using a Kleenex. I would pour my blood into the toilet and then take it on over to the sink, just quickly rinse it with hot water. Pour a little bit of soap in it, wash it quickly, rinse, and then I can reinsert and it's fine. It is recommended that you use a gentle cleanser. You definitely don't want to use anything with harsh chemicals or anything because you don't want to degrade the silicone. If you are going to invest in a Diva Cup, definitely just spend the extra like 10 bucks on a Diva Wash. You'll have this for a very long time and you can use it for a bunch of different things, but especially when it comes to washing your Diva Cup. I know so many of you have tried the Diva Cup and I really have not gotten a comment that was like, I tried the Diva Cup and I hated it. I feel like every time someone uses it and they tell me about it, they're like, I'm completely converted. I just feel like it's made my period so much simpler. I don't worry about changing my tampon. I don't worry about toxic shock syndrome. I don't worry about any of these things. I just insert it and all day it's like I forget I have a period. So it's truly amazing. I truly recommend it. You guys send me Snapchats when you first buy your Diva Cup. You're like, can't wait to try it. And then you send me updates and you're like, I love this thing. It's seriously, I don't feel like anyone has ever tried it and not liked it. I think that everyone needs to try it, whether you're young or even practically about to hit menopause. You need to try Diva Cup at least once because it will change your period life, and I'm not exaggerating. Like I said, this was just sort of a little bit of an update and giving you some more information about the Diva Cup. I still get so many comments and questions on my actual Diva Cup video, so if you haven't seen any of those, please do check those out because they are pretty informative and you can see my first impression and everything like that. If I could give one to all of you, I would. It's life-changing. So thank you all so much for watching. Links to everything will be in the down bar down below, as well as my first 2 Diva Cup videos, which will give you more information and answer a lot more of your questions. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night depending on when you watch this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.